everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I am Mayor Dwayne Warren, and I asked the library, could I come over and interrupt your movie so I could read a story to you. Is that all right?
Yes.
I want to read about the earth, the birth of the earth. Who knows what the earth is? What's the earth? The earth is where we live. It is a planet, right? Who's been on earth for a long time? Who's been on earth all their lives? Who has left earth? When did you leave earth? Who has left earth in their imagination? Yeah, I've been on Mars in my imagination. Where'd you go? You went to the moon. Where'd you go?
So I went to
Neptune.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? Uranus. Nice. The birth of the earth. Once upon a time, billions of years ago. How many knows what billions mean? Yes. Yes. How many zeros in billions? Yes.
a million.
No. How many zeros? No. Yes.
7.
Pretty close there. 2 plus 7 is?
2 plus 7, 9.
9 zeros. Very nice. Once upon a time, a billion years ago, there was nothing. Yep, that's right, nothing at all. No light, no heat, no stars, no planets, no peanut butter, just nothing. See how it was? Nothing. This was billions and billions of years ago. And then something exploded. Scientists call this explosion the Big Bang Theory. And they think it was the beginning of everything, the beginning of the universe. The Big Bang happened about 13 billion years ago, and it was the most powerful explosion there has ever been, greater than all the world's bombs put together. But although it was enormously bright and enormously hot, the Big Bang Theory was very noisy. In fact, it was so noisy you could not even hear it. Who knows how to make a bang? Let's hear a loud bang.
Bang. Boom. Boosh.
Yes.
Bang.
That's a little bit how it sounds. Here's how it really sounds. Bang! That was the Big Bang Theory. Just seconds after the Big Bang, a tiny, seething mass of energy appeared. It was a baby universe. Yes. Baby it might have been, but it was still indescribably hot. And it was getting bigger and spreading outward all the time. As the minutes, then hours, then years ticked by, the universe went on spreading. And as it spread, it gradually got cooler, until the last was cool enough for gases to form, mainly helium and hydrogen. But the gases weren't spread evenly, though. The young universe had about 300,000 years after the Big Bang. Some of them began clumping together into clouds. Not the fluffy, cuddly kind, the kind you might see on Earth. These were huge, whirling clouds. These were the beginnings of the galaxy.
What is a galaxy?
Galaxies out there where the stars are. Who sees stars at night? And who makes shapes with the stars? So all of us have looked into the galaxy. As each growing galaxy whirled around, it pulled up more and more gases and got lumpier and lumpier. And then something happened. There are thousands of millions of galaxies out there. And then a star was born. Who knows how to draw a star? Well, here there were zillions of stars. Crowds and crowds of stars like gigantic swarms of flies. Once they started, the galaxies went on giving birth to other stars too. In fact, new stars are being born all the time. But no star shines forever. Stars are just great balls of blazing hot gases, mostly hydrogen and helium. What is the hottest star that we know? Yes. The sun. Do we get hot or cold in the sun?
Hot.
Hot, hot, hot. Although stars live for millions and millions of years, eventually they run out of helium as well, and mostly they die. Most stars dwindle away into a cold, black burnout. It's a thing that looks like it was left for too long on a barbecue. That's a burnt out star. But sometimes a star will blow up in a spectacular explosion known as a supernova. Who's heard of a supernova? Well, who has been to the fireworks? And who's seen the big bomb go up and it goes poof into the air? That's what a supernova looks like. When this happens, much of the material that makes up the star hurls out into the space, and then guess what? Whoosh! It runs right over your sky, it mixes with other gases, and it hangs in the sky. So, our question is, where does the Earth fit into all of this? Well, about 8 billion years or so after the Big Bang, a new star formed near the edge of the swirling spiral galaxy, and that was the Sun. Now, our Sun isn't all that unusual as stars go. There are bigger and brighter stars. Ours is just medium-sized and medium bright. But after it was formed, there was a cloudy disk of leftover gas and dust still whirling around. And that's when something unusual did happen. The tiny sparkle of dust in the disk started bumping and thumping into each other. As they did so, some of them stuck together to make lumps. Then the lumps began to smash and bang into each other, and they grew into one big lump. And the bigger lumps banged into and made even bigger lumps. And they all pulled gases toward them. Millions of years later, when everything finally settled down, the disk of gas and dust had gone. In its place were huge 9 lumps. And what do we call those 9 lumps? Planets. The huge lumps, of course, are planets. Some of the smaller ones ended up as asteroids. Others are moons and comets. What is a comet? Yes.
A comet is like kind of like this giant rock that forms in outer space.
Right. It's also another name for a star. Very good. Once they sorted themselves out, the planets became very well behaved, and they just stayed that way. Each planet swings around and around the sun along its path, and that's called an orbit. They all travel in the same direction, and they all keep their distance from each other, except for Pluto, that is, which every now and then elbows into the front of Neptune. And the third planet from the sun is Earth. So the solar system includes, who can name them? Yes. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Neptune, you can help? She said Mercury. Yes, sir?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Which one starts with a U? Yes. Uranus. And did we say?
Pluto.
Pluto. Very nice. Time to meet the family. The Rockies. Now the rockiest of the planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And they are nearest to the sun. And they're mostly made out of rock with a metal center. That's how we get rocks and steel and granite. The big boys, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, are mostly made of gas. These planets don't have a solid surface at all. What looks like a surface to us is actually a thick cloud of freezing gas. So basically, all the other planets are made up of thick clouds. Now the baby, Pluto, the smallest planet of all and the farthest from the sun. In fact, it's so far away that no one knows much about it, but it's probably frozen solid. Down there are moons. The moons are smaller lumps of rock and ice that orbit around the planets. Not all of the planets have moons. Mercury and Venus don't have any. Earth has 1 and Mars has 2. But the giant gas planets, they have many moons. Who knows what an asteroid is? Yes. Yes. Yes, it's like a big rock in space. Sometimes it can fall down and it can damage things. And then there are comets. Comets are like snowballs. They fly through the air. Sometimes they come and hit the ground. And if you're flying in a spaceship, many times the astronauts have said that they saw comets flying by. Now all that banging and crashing, it really heated things up. At first the Earth was so hot, it was like a big bubbling ball of boiled toffee. It slowly cooled down though, and as it did, a crinkly, crusty surface formed around the outside. Not that it was all that solid, but at the beginning it was continuously being heaped upon and ripped apart by volcanoes and earthquakes. Who knows what a volcano is? Yes?
Something that contains lava.
Yes. Is a volcano hot?
Yes, very hot.
Do we want to get away when a volcano comes?
Yes.
Yes. Now we have the atmosphere, and you have weather. And sometimes the weather gets lousy. Up in the atmosphere, the water vapor cooled down, became liquid, and it fell. Now when this atmosphere and it becomes water vapor and it cools down and it falls down, what do we call it? Rain. So on Earth it rained, 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 and then it rained some more. And the rain made puddles, and then the rain made ponds, then the rain made lakes, and then the rain made rivers and oceans. Now where does the rain come from?
The sky.
Yes. And now that we have the rivers and the oceans and the ponds, who picks the rain, the water up and sends it back to us? No, who does that? Who said the sun? Yes, the sun draws the water up through evaporation. It stores it in the clouds, and then what happens? And when it's really cold, it does what?
It freezes.
And if it's too much snow, we don't have what? School. Yes. But this year we're going to go to school even if it snows. Is that all right? It snows a lot.
I don't have no gloves right now.
Okay, you can stay home.
Yeah.
Who has gloves? And you guys will go to school. Everyone has a hat? Then you can stay home. Who has a hat? You can go to school. Everyone has coats? You have coats? You can go to school. Who does not have a coat? You can stay home. Okay, so you guys are still when it snows.
I don't have a warm coat.
Okay, then you can stay home. Okay, that's enough about water. Let's get back to our oceans. Because, of course, water wasn't the only thing in the ocean. As the rain fell, it washed other chemicals from the atmosphere as well. They sloshed around in the oceans like enormous bowls. This is where the magic comes in. Because although we're pretty sure what happened next, no one really knows how it happened. All of a sudden, Shazam! There were cells in the water. All types of cells.
What is that?
A cell, they were bacteria, and they could do all the soaking up of food that was necessary. And you know what kind of sounds they made? What kind of sounds did a cell make when it was taking the food in? Yes.
Molecules?
No. What kind of sound? Pop. That's how they sounded. But before long, there were bacteria floating about, and some of this chlorophyll and blue-green bacteria. Who knows what bacteria is? Yes.
It's a thing. It's like germs.
Yes. Do we touch bacteria?
No.
Where do we get bacteria?
Around us.
Around us, and where else?
And
Germs. And when we touch things we're not supposed to touch,
germs.
who puts their fingers in their mouth? Very nice. Who washes their hands? Very good. When we go to the bathroom, do we do what?
Wash our hands.
Wash our hands. Before we go eat?
Wash our hands.
Before you go to the kitchen?
Wash our hands.
Before you pick up the pot on the stove?
Wash our hands.
Very use soap?
Yes.
Very good. It's only in the last 200 years that we've discovered how old our planet is. Before this, people thought the Earth was just a few thousand years old. Back in 1650, an archbishop named James Usher, 1650, you know how long ago that is?
No.
How many years ago?
That's like 50 years ago.
50?
Ooh.
No. How many?
16?
60, more than 60. The year 1650, how many years ago was that?
400 years. 16?
Nearly 400 years ago. An archbishop carefully added together the ages of all the main characters in the Bible and figured out that the earth was created in October 4004 BC. That's about 6,000 years ago. Who's close to being 6,000?
What?
Who knows anybody that's 6,000 years old? Who? 6,000 years old. No one knows anyone? When you go outside, I want you to look at the ground, and you'll see the earth, and you'll see something that is 6,000
Oh.
years old. Yes.
I thought it's rock. It was so dusty and it was like, it was big.
It could be. It could be. Yes. Yes. John Lightfoot, a scholar at Cambridge University in England. Who knows where England is?
Oh,
Yes.
it's in Europe.
Very nice. Then worked out that the time of creation must have been at 9 a.m. precisely on Sunday, the 23rd of October, 4004 BC. So this scientist in England, he thinks that the earth was started at 9 o'clock a.m. Who goes to work at 9 o'clock a.m.? Who goes to school at 9 o'clock a.m.? That's the same time the earth was started. October 23rd, who's born in October?
Oh, I was.
You were.
Yeah.
The same month as Earth was born. Wow. October 23rd, he estimated that that's when the Earth came into existence. All right, now we're going to go over a few terms. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is an asteroid?
An asteroid is
Yes.
like a piece of rock.
Very good. What is the atmosphere?
Oh, it's like something that suspends the oxygen so we can breathe.
Very nice. Bacteria.
Oh,
Yes.
germs.
Very nice. The big
Boys.
bang. How do you say it?
Bang.
The big bang. Nice. What is the big bang?
A big bang is a big noise.
Okay, that's what brought the Earth about.
That's something that's
Blue-green bacteria. Where's it found?
germs.
Where? In the water?
In the
water.
In the ocean. Very good. What is a cell?
A cell is like
Yes.
a cell is our skin.
Yes, a cell is your skin. A cell is a single unit of life. Say that with me. A single unit of life. That's what a cell is. Chlorophyll. Who knows what that is? Chlorophyll.
Is it kind of flower?
Okay, it's close to flowers.
A plant?
Okay. It's a substance in the plant that makes it green.
The
Helps us to
sugar?
clean energy.
The sugar?
Not sugar.
The stem?
The leaf. What's a comet?
A comet is like a rock that floats across space.
Yes. What is dust?
Oh.
Yes.
It's in the desert that goes like around us like sand.
Okay, very good. The moon. Yes.
The moon is a big ball of dust.
Okay. What color is the moon?
White.
Very nice. What is a planet?
Huh? A planet is somewhere you
Where are the planets?
in space.
Space. Very good. What is the solar system?
Oh.
Yes. Solar system. Yes.
It's where like astronauts check for space.
They do.
Yeah.
And that's where the planets are.
Yeah.
What is a supernova?
It's kind of like a firework.
Yes. The universe? Yes, ma'am. Universe is like space. It encompasses us all. And what is matter? Matter. Matter. Do we all matter?
Yes.
Why? What is matter? Yes? Got
Matter
it?
is like space. Matter is space between an object.
Well, I want to know what matter is. Anything that has weight and takes up space. Anything that has weight and takes up space, yes.
Gravity? Isn't it gravity?
It's subject to gravity because it has weight.
That's around. And
It could be. Anything is matter. This book is matter. This head is matter. These people are matter. This is matter. Why? It has weight and it takes up space. Do we matter?
Yeah.
Do we matter? And finally, I want you to describe what I am doing right now. I'm going around the room. I am circling around the class. I am going around. It is the same thing that the earth does around the sun. It is orbit! Very nice. So now we learned about the earth. Now we have to take care of the earth. Who litters? Who throws stuff on the ground? You litter? No littering because we have to protect the earth. She does? What are you going to tell her? What are you going to say to her? Because you didn't say it right. I'm going to teach you how to say no littering. You ready? Repeat after me. No! And we don't want pollution in the air. What is pollution? Yes, sir. Bad air. Do we put bad air in?
No.
We don't smoke, do we?
No.
When we see smoking, what do we say?
Stop smoking.
You didn't say it right. You repeat after me. Stop smoking! Okay. Why is that important?
When you smoke, your lungs.
Yes. It's bad for the environment.
It gives cancer too.
It gives cancer.
And
It makes our air dirty.
It kills plants.
It kills plants. And you know what's most important?
And sometimes
It hurts us, and we all matter. So, when they do things like littering or smoking or polluting something, we have to say, we all matter. Do you know how to say that?
Yes.
We're going to practice slow first. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
We are matter.
But you have to explain it properly with your hands. You get it right. Stand up and show them how to do it. Ready? Just really slow. Turn around so they can see. We all matter. Everyone know how to do it?
Yeah.
We
are matter.
Now, when you see somebody polluting or littering, what are we going to say?
We are matter.
Okay, now we're going to say it out loud, big voice. Everyone standing up straight. Stand up straight. Ready with your hands right here. Are we ready with our hands?
Yes.
Okay. Now act like I'm just littering. Right?
We are matter.
I could not hear you. Because if I saw someone littering, guess what I would say? We are matter! Okay, we ready?
Yes.
We ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Straight? Hands by our side? Thank you, boys and girls. It was a pleasure. Remember, we all matter. Keep our earth clean.